Welcome to the Right Now Show. This show is all about inspiring our generation, people in their 20s, to go out and actually go for your dream, to find out what your purpose and your mission in life is. And I know that you listening, you are capable of so much more than you can possibly imagine. And I want you to go out and I want you to make that happen. And on this show, we're going to bring on people that have inspired us, that are absolutely just crushing it in life and have overcome insane odds. And this show is called The Right Now Show because the only thing that is truly real is this moment. Let's get into the show.
Drew, you're doing the intro, so get ready.
Why do I always gotta do it, dude?
Because I think you're the best at it.
What a compliment.
You know what, dude? That's sad. That might be the nicest thing you ever said to me.
I think this will be fun.
I'm about to
So, I mean,
crying.
object with the intro is just hyper the fuck up. Like, who is Dani? Like, we don't need her to tell us who she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, now you gotta give me a second. Fuck.
Oh, you want my resume? Print it out really
See the
quick.
fucking...
September 2019. Just
It all started on the day.
He's gonna just eat salmon in the background.
chopping.
So
Just be
Dani,
obnoxious.
Oh.
how'd you grow up?
You like salmon? This is fucking great over here.
Go ahead, we'll wait.
Yeah, take your fucking time, too.
I just want
No, we're
to
chilling.
double check if that's camera's
Is
on.
it rolling, though?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
How are you? All right, I guess I'm gonna have to improvise again. All right, so we got the boys here today, Right Now Gang, with our guest, Dani Faye. Everyone give a round of applause. Yep.
Thank you.
Clap it up, you dickhead.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So, short little story, we all went to Bangor. Dani's from Bangor. Probably one of the first athletes to really make it out of Bangor that had went to a real, I guess you can say, like, big school. Went to Penn State, played softball. Well, you started 4 years pretty much out there.
Yeah.
And now back in civilian life. Welcome to the gang. How are you?
Doing great. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what do you do like right now? Like, what's your life look like right now?
Right now, I'm working at Penn State, which is in February going to be a year. I do athletic social media coordinator and brand management, which is fun, doing all 31 sports with kind of just video, photo, interview stuff like this, but not as... I started from scratch, so I'm taking notes during this. But other than that, I kind of do some stuff on the side just to make some extra money because I got the time. And then, yeah, just training like Monday through Saturday, Sunday's day off.
What are you
But
training for right now?
training for a half Ironman in July in Happy Valley.
That's at Happy Valley, right?
For those that don't know, what's a half Ironman?
Half Ironman is 70.3 miles total. Wow. Starts with swimming 1.2, biking 56.3, and then running a half marathon. So
Gnarly, dude.
Have you ever done anything like that?
no, never.
So why half Ironman?
Actually, saw I was coming to Happy Valley. Like the finish line is Beaver Stadium, 50-yard line. I was like,
Oh, shit.
come on, like I can't not do it. And Drew just finished his race. And I was like, been kind of looking for something to do like really hard. That is like, never, something. So yeah, you're a little bit of an inspiration.
I'll do my best.
You used it. But that's kind of what I was like, it's time to do something extremely hard. Mentally,
No better time
physically.
than right now, right?
Exactly. And then that was like, hey, coming to Happy Valley. And I was like, done. Let's do it. Do I know anything about training for it? No.
Different story.
Yeah.
I want to, if you don't mind, I just want to take things back. So, I mean, I've known Dani for a long time. I kind of want to get back to we can probably go right around high school, like freshman year. Because, I mean, growing up, obviously played softball, all that shit. And I remember when they brought it up that you were coming on the pod. I remember a specific conversation we had when we were in 9th grade.
Damn.
And we just had the baseball and softball tryouts. And you were texting me and you were fucking livid because you got double rostered
Oh, I was pissed.
as a freshman. You got double rostered, JV and varsity. And ever since then, it just kind of lit us. I mean, it was all uphill from there.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to go back to like if you even remember that moment, that conversation,
Yeah.
and kind of just what was going through your head, what lit a spark, like what changed after that? Because
Yeah.
after that, it was very clear like you shouldn't have been double
Yeah.
rostered, obviously. And
Yeah, well, that was definitely the turning point for me as well, and I'll never forget it. It was the tryout like listings came out the same night that the Sadie Hawkins dance was happening. So I was at the dance, and everyone's moms are texting because our class was like a pretty like 5 out of 7 of us played college softball.
Very athletic
so,
class.
Really good class. Like we were the ones that kind of took that program to the next level with Coach Rich, and
For
I would
sure.
never like. I still to this day thank him for that decision he made to double roster me because he didn't know I didn't know what he was doing for me at that moment because it did light something in me that wanted me to kind of be not approve kind of thing, but obviously I wasn't doing enough.
yeah, like in the
Yeah.
back of your head, it was probably one of those things like, I know I don't fucking belong here.
Yeah.
Like you're meant for the higher level.
Yeah.
And now like growing up, but like going up to high school, were you always like a star player on a team, or were you someone that like really like you fucking grinded every step of the way to
Well,
get to where you're at?
When to that point that I got to be the star player, we kind of chatted. Like my mom was like my softball person, right? And then
Yeah.
we were kind of like, all right, you're the best of the best on this team. Time to move, you know. And that just kind of happened many years, like from I want to say 7th grade to wherever I ended up in 12th grade because I didn't get recruited until my senior year,
Right.
fall. But that's kind of just the path that it happened. Like when I was the best, okay, time to move. But even though, I mean, it's comfy being the best, you know, when you're on your team
is.
and you're just like, oh, fuck yeah, like I'm up to bat, like we're down by 3, done. You know, like,
About to be up by 1.
exactly, like no problem. But no, kind of taking that to the next step was definitely the turning point. But I do remember that conversation because I didn't talk to anybody else about it besides you and my parents.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off, but to a point where you kind of get composed and you're like, all right.
Yeah,
see you
everyone
next
needs
year.
that minute of like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and then you come back, you're like, all right, it's not the end of the world, but
No.
we got work to do, you know? And that's pretty much all it is.
Yeah. And like our JV team had like a good run that year, like a good, not run, obviously we're not like working to something, but a good
Right.
record.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that and kind of try to stay like where my feet were in that moment. Like if I was playing varsity that day, great. Like that's where I'm going to be. That's my role. I am varsity. But if I'm JV, like, okay, I am JV, you know,
Yep.
let's just be right here.
Hell
So,
yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, that it just came to me like real fast.
Yeah.
Fucking double roster. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, because I don't think I've like ever seen you mad like ever in my whole life, and I was like, yo, she's fucking pissed. Like this obviously means something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, but then you know, the softball team in high school, you guys fucking. I mean, shit. Every year you were like in the states, like.
Yeah. It was our senior year. We went the furthest we ever went in Bangor history, which was semifinals.
State, right?
Yeah, for states.
Yeah.
Because if we would have won that game, which I don't even remember what town or was where I was playing. Remember, you know what I mean?
It's out there.
Like it's out there.
In the
but
boonies.
if we would have won that, I would have played on Penn State's field before I was in a Penn State uniform.
And you were already committed, right?
I was committed by then. Yeah.
Okay.
I committed like November of my senior year, of our senior year.
When sorry, dude. I'm just like kind of taking over right now, but you're just gonna have to ride with it.
It's all good.
When did you start really like one getting interest from colleges, but two, when did it really hit you? You're like shit, like I'm not like only are you gonna go D1, but you're gonna be pretty much like the first chick in Bangor who really like stood out and did something like that. So like when did that kind of just set in?
I definitely knew I was good like 8th grade year, and that's when that summer, like after travel ball was done, that's when I began like strength training at Iron Core with Chris. So that was like the first step I made just to be like an overall better athlete. But then I also played soccer my freshman year of high school, and I did that, and I was obviously on JV. I was not very good, but I played soccer like my whole life. And then I played that season of soccer, and I was like, yeah, I fucking hate this. Like, I would just want to go to fall ball, you know, like I just want to go play
Yeah, he wants
softball
to
in the
run,
fall.
you know what I mean?
Like I was like, I just want to go 60 feet, turn left, and do it like 3 more times. And call it a day.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad. But I would say like definitely, I knew I didn't really want to play soccer that year. I did it anyway, just to kind of like rule it out.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I just kind of did other stuff on the side to like just stay athletic. So definitely like 8th grade.
So, and then when did you start drawing interest from colleges?
I think it was around like late sophomore year. I was playing for a team called the Pocono Pride, and it was just Division III, like Misericordia and different schools like that, which was like amazing to me. I was like, what the hell? Like I can like go and play like at the next level. Like that's all I wanted to do, but kind of not shooting it too far in advance and not like I was only at like 16. Like you don't need to like commit that early.
No way.
So kind of like
I get it.
yeah, and it's like people around you are.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh, like I want to wear like my school stuff, or people on my team were already committed, you know, verbally or whatever. But once I moved up to that better team, which was it's a Premier Girls Fast Pitch League, so PGF, and it's like the best tournament league that you can play in as a fast pitch player. And it was an hour and a half from here south towards Philly and Newtown, so it was Newtown Rock. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I know where that
and
is.
straight 6'11" the whole way down.
Yep.
And that was when I had my first practice, and Division I coaches would just show up to just watch. And by the end of that first practice, LaSalle was like, "Hey, you want to come play?" And I was like, what is happening? Like, I just practiced.
Who, me?
Like that's all. You know, it was bizarre, honestly. But that's kind of was the first Division I feeling, I guess.
And what did that
So-
feel like at that time, if you remember?
Yeah, no,
Just
right
being
then
like
and there,
D1, you're like,
he was like, we want like to offer you, we want to bring you on campus, we want to do this. And I was like, first of all, like my whole team was committed already.
Yeah.
So I felt like the pressure being a senior in high school, like, okay, time is like coming down to like the wire. I want to be committed, but I don't want to like just jump the gun on this. I need to actually think of it like how I would like it. Would I want to ever do school in Philly? Probably not.
Probably not. I
But-
played on LaSalle's campus. No, any LaSalle people out there listening, I'm sorry, but fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And
scary.
It was like, don't
That
leave
shit,
the
like,
perimeter.
No way,
I was like,
dude.
what the hell?
You could not pay me to fucking play there.
No.
I was like,
And they were like, yeah, some gun violence here and there. And I was like,
only
okay.
2 shootings a week. That ain't nothing.
No, it
It's
was
like they were from Bangor. I don't know.
yeah.
What is gun violence? Like,
But no, that was like the first one. And I felt like I had to hurry up and make a decision without having a lot to decide from. But I'm glad I kind of held out. For sure.
I get it. I mean, take it from me. I mean, I didn't commit until a week before he graduated. Mm-hmm. I fucking down to the wire. I was like, I think I'll go here.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go here actually. And my dad's like, dude, where are you going to school? I was like, I guess I'll go to NAC. I don't know. That lasted a whole 3 months, but I still went.
You were a
That's
coach
right.
too, right?
I was for a little bit out there. Yeah, it was fun, but it's just you
What
know.
position did you play?
I got recruited so I always would say like every position that a lefty could play besides pitcher, I played. So catcher, first base, and outfield. And just you don't want a lefty on any other spot. But so that's kind of got recruited as a utility, but mostly a catcher.
Oh,
So
really?
my
And you don't see
freshman
lefty
year-
catchers ever.
That's a tough position. It's probably the hardest
Yeah.
position.
I loved it though. But
It
when
beats you up.
You're
I-
involved in every single play.
oh yeah, gotta have a voice.
They said,
gotta
"Take
have,
from
like,
this
your own
guy."
mind.
My-
Yeah.
Yeah.
my knees are fucked because of it.
He's like one of the fastest kids on the team, and then catcher.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
listen, when you get that ground ball, you gotta fucking back up first base.
Ah.
My goal was to beat the runner every single
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah.
That was my goal every
So like,
time.
how'd that guy get down there so quick?
Like, bitch, I did it with catcher's gear, too.
And I'm not out of breath.
Does it make you do your conditioning with catcher's gear on?
Yeah,
That shit blows.
Are you faster than Drew?
Hmm?
Are you faster than Drew?
I think so.
Yeah. Dude, we should.
We haven't done it.
should
We haven't
do a
done a race.
race.
We should
So.
definitely do a race.
I can tell you right now.
We'll
when-
hype it up like a UFC thing.
Dude,
Then it'll just be a race.
Dude, I'll tell you.
You're gonna
Let me
fight.
tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. When in like high school, college, I can tell you right now, I would beat him straight up. Right now, he could probably whoop me. I have not ran
Do you
actual
do more
sprints in so
sprint
long.
training?
Talk shit.
I do
I'll get
not
one
like
of those.
sprint, like actual sprints, but
Yeah.
I'll do kind of like hit high intensity anaerobic exercises to get my like VO2 max.
And I'll say straight up, man. I
Um,
don't do any of this shit.
yeah, like more
I
like
can
a sprint
jump, though, like a
style
motherfucker.
exercise,
Yeah.
but not a actual sprint.
And I'll just put on record now, dude. The fastest 60 I ever ran, it was a 6.63. I was fucking quick back in the day, dude. I'll just leave it there.
Quick feet.
Moving.
That was when I was like 21 though.
Yeah.
That's 3 years ago. I can't fucking touch that now, dude. That's like a 4.6 40. I might run like a 4.9, dude, if I'm pushing it.
Dude, I always think of John Robb running. He had the
Dude, he
he
was
had the
quick.
best run.
Dude, he had the best form.
It was hilarious. Head bob.
And he couldn't even run in a straight line if you ever watched him. It was always like out to the right and then back
Yeah.
to the left.
Yeah.
He was too fast for his own
He was
good.
another freak athlete too. Just weirdly talented
Yeah.
in everything that he did.
Yeah.
Random.
Crazy.
And like his parents were like not athletic whatsoever.
No.
It was just like him.
Well, neither
Right.
were his siblings either.
No.
Just kinda-
yeah. Neither were his siblings at all.
It's the freak of nature. He used to catch the ball in the outfield, like behind his back. It's like nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like wouldn't even look. He's like, oh yeah, there's the ball. I'm like,
He never
I'm
did
like-
that in a game.
and if
did he?
I tried to do it, I'm like trying to get the angles. I'm like, all right, if
Doing
I
the
turn
math.
now, I can get my glove.
Doing geometry and trigonometry in your head.
Yeah, and I have you know, I never
My
took any of those
calculations
classes. I never took any of those classes in high school either.
Yeah.
Hell no.
So I'm like, oh shit.
Get the bare minimum math.
So what are your thoughts on Bangor? Like if compared to going out to like Penn State and experiencing
Yeah, was that like a
culture?
culture shock?
How was it? Yeah. compared
It
to
was
Bangor?
really, so obviously I'm outgoing, so it wasn't, like if I was not outgoing, it would be a culture shock. Like it wouldn't be like as good of an experience I had, but when I got out there, I was like, first of all, I didn't know what the hell Lululemon was. Like, no, didn't know what Lululemon was.
I just learned what that was like last year.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
exactly. And they were like Cold Stone, like different like things. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not know because of where we live, but I thought it was great because you had everything like at the palm of your hand, you know.
Right.
And every person that you looked at was probably different than you, and I got to meet like people that played sports that were from different countries. Like that was definitely really interesting. I never unfortunately had anyone on my team that, but you know, softball and baseball are kind of just like United States kind of thing, but
Right.
I thought that was a kind of a culture shock. Like there were some times that like I was in a room and I was like the only like white female there, and I was like, well shit, like
Not
this is
used to this.
uncomfortable. You know? Like,
Yeah.
but that was kind of the only thing that was really out of the blue for
Right.
me.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost kind of like a little bubble in Bangor, and you don't realize until you're out of it. I think. I mean, at least for me.
Dude, not even.
I was like in my own little world in Bangor, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even Bangor, bro. It's like it's the whole Slate Belt and
Right.
The High Valley vibe.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just. I always put it this way. I've said to Zach a million times. Like this place was like it was a really good place to grow up. You know, we made like our best friends here,
Right.
and memories that'll last a lifetime. But it's like, it's kind of all it was really good for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I was just to stay in this little bubble my whole life, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to anyone that's still here
Not at
or
all,
anything.
dude. To some people, that's their dream.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just not me.
Right.
You know what I
same
mean?
thing with
It's
me.
definitely nice coming back, seeing everybody,
Right.
you know.
I love coming home seeing the guys, and then like there's sometimes when I'm away and I'm just like I have that solitude, just like that peace and quiet by myself. I'm like, this is fucking nice. Like shit.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But that was it was definitely a culture shock of like things to
gotta get some
do.
of this, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like when I would bring people here and they'd be like, so like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, we can have a fire, or we can go up to Jackie's and have a fire, or we can
go start a fire.
we can like, I don't even know. It was just so funny.
I actually remember your freshman year. You came back, whatever, and we hung out. And I think you brought your roommate at the time. She's
Yeah.
from like Arizona.
She was
or
from
some
Arizona,
shit.
yeah. Tempe, so like city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember-
warm.
Yeah, we went like out to eat, and she's like, so like, what do you guys do? I'm like, I don't know.
This?
I'm like, sometimes I go to the gym in the morning. That about sums it up.
It is so funny. People be like, yeah, like we'll go like to the movies, just like, just go to the movies. I'm like, shit, if we're going to the movies, like we gotta plan that. You
Yeah.
know, like I just remember like
This is a
middle
big day.
school or elementary, like your current boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, you'd be like, okay, we're going to the movies like 3 Fridays from now. Your mom's driving because it's 40 minutes away, and my mom's gonna pick me up.
Yeah, everything's so far away too.
So far away.
Yeah, let's go catch a movie. All right, it starts at 8. I'll pick you up at 6:30.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? Yeah, dude,
Seriously, though.
it's out there.
Yeah.
You meet
Yeah.
because you meet all these people who view the world in a completely different way, and they have no idea that like where you're from even exists.
Oh yeah.
All the time, people are like, bro, where are you from? I'm like, Bangor. They're like, what? Like, what's a Bangor? I'm like, haha, you're so funny. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about a town this big, and you'll never hear of it, but
They're like, Bangor, Maine? I'm like, no.
sure,
Yeah.
close enough.
About 3 states down, you'll find me.
Make a left, and you might get there.
So
No.
were you like always competitive like growing up, or was there like kind of like a turning point where like you just kind of got like really like into sports and stuff like that?
I would say probably like my whole life I was pretty competitive. I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and like my brother and sister are like about 5 years younger than me. So Tyler's 4, Jenna's 5. But so I didn't really have anyone to be competitive with until, they kind of came around. But playing sports definitely was always a good way to, make friends and everything. But my mom and dad will always say that I was the most competitive out of everyone. But my mom is the same way. Like she is diehard, like if we're playing a card game, like watch out because like it's happening.
Hell yeah.
Definitely from my mom. And she probably could have went to play softball collegiately as well, but stars just didn't line up. But yeah, so I think she definitely could have. She will tell you otherwise, but
So like when you were like in like little league or like just getting into high school, like did you have that big dream of playing D1?
Yeah, it definitely was. Is watching on TV and kind of seeing it, College World Series and all of that, like middle school-ish, and I was like, damn, can I do that? Like I'm pretty good, like on my team, but am I that good? And like 8th grade, 9th grade, like I said, that was my dream in my head, but I never really said it out loud. I don't really know. Like I didn't say to my mom, like, Mom, I'm going to play Division I one day. Like, just mark your calendar because it's happening. I wasn't like that. It was kind of like, all right, let's see how this goes. Like, I know this is my dream, but I believe I can do it, and I'm just going to keep that to myself. It was kind of, I never really talked about it. And even when I did commit to like Penn State, I never really loved being like, oh yeah, I'm going to Division I, and whenever someone started talking about it, and it just made me feel like uncomfortable. Like I wasn't being humble, like I didn't want to make myself feel seen as not being humble.
Now, did you put like extra work in, like compared to the other players? Or were you just kind of
Yeah.
just, like,
Dude,
No, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I can speak
did.
on that. Because bro, there used to be times we would be out and like, she's like, shit, I forgot my softballs. She's out there hitting baseballs, and I'm just throwing till my arm falls off. She's like, no, let's just keep going. I'm like, all right,
It's like,
fuck
my
it.
bat'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, there were so many times.
So why softball? Like, why do you love softball so much?
I think mostly because that's like what my mom played, so that we had like that connection for sure. But I ended up being like good at it secondly, but I just really do love the game of softball, and I mean obviously like baseball as well. Like I can watch baseball forever, but softball just being a very unique sport. Like it's not the same as the male side of the sport. There's some changes to make it its own.
Yeah.
And obviously like underhand pitching, like I don't pitch, but it's like just like a game changer for that, But just overall, like the way that I was taught the game, and he ended up being our head coach, and he's actually getting inducted in the Hall of Fame this coming January, which is awesome. We kind of banded together and got that sent in, so that's really cool. But he was also my coach going through 12U and a little bit of 10U. So kind of just the way he coached the game, very like monotone. Never heard him yell in my life. Like, hey, this is how we're gonna do it, and if you don't like it, you can leave.
There's the door.
Yeah, but if you want to stay, I promise you, you're gonna get something really great out of it. And I was like, oh, okay,
So
maybe.
he was like a big mentor to you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Like
Do you
he
have
was.
any other people that you looked up to?
My mom for sure, and then as I got older, just like older people, you know, and kind of just seeing how they
Any other like
they
big
worked.
time softball players?
So that is one thing that I never really like.
Yeah.
I never latched on to like a softball
I
player.
couldn't name one softball player.
Yeah, it's
besides
crazy.
you.
I was gonna say Danny Fay right here. That's all the one I need. That's it.
No, but it is tough to find those, like even when you're young. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that turns, because it does seem like, you know, it's on more, it's talked about more. So younger players do get to see that. But I never really had anybody. But I did, like, for like on the baseball side of things, like I'm a Yankees fan, so like Derek Jeter, I was like, I love him. I love the way I know. Sorry, Joe. I didn't want to look, but just the way he carried himself, you know,
same.
like obviously not his skills, but like the person that he was always
Yeah.
kind of where
He was such a leader and a hustler.
yeah, exactly. He's just
Lead
like,
by
just,
example. Because he was never vocal.
no.
He was just here the whole time.
It's
You know
hard
what
to
I mean?
say when in baseball though, because you can't really hear them at all.
You can hear some people, man,
Yeah, some people.
for sure. Especially on TV.
Yeah,
Dude,
they
sometimes
take
those
to
mics
social
slip up,
media.
dude. Shit.
Yeah.
I was watching Sunday Night Baseball one time, dude. It was actually this year. It was Kyle Schwarber. I was watching the Phils against the Brewers, and he struck out on a ball that was like a foot outside. He went down looking, and he ended up getting ejected. He threw his bat down, threw his helmet, and he's like, "You've been fucking shit up all night," right on national TV. I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm sitting there, I'm like, "You tell him, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, I love that shit."
If they mic all the players, it would make the game so much
Oh,
better.
dude,
Oh my
I
gosh,
know.
I love when they
They're doing
mic
that
them
more
up.
now.
Yeah.
I love
This
it.
past year they do that a lot.
It's almost like a
Yeah.
podcast.
They do it in football a bunch too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the one
Isn't
where
that
he's
funny?
like, I lift, and then he's like, he gets touched, he gets flown back. He's like, oh shit.
Oh, man. I kind of, not to get off topic, 'cause that was just funny as shit. But you know how like you're growing up as a kid, you know, you're watching College World Series and shit on TV, and you're like that's the dream, right? And did you have a moment at all? And if you did, when did it happen? Where like you had kind of like an oh shit moment. You're like, I'm here, like I'm doing it. I did it.
Yeah.
Was there ever like a moment in time where that happened?
I mean, the first time I put on my Penn State jersey was for a photo shoot. It wasn't even for a game, you know? And I just remember putting it on and being like, oh shit, like, this is for real. And I hate these pants, but that's okay. This is for real. And
They don't even fit.
yeah, no, they didn't. They were skin tight on me, and I was like, it's fine. Definitely not a medium in Penn State Nike pants. I don't know why, but it was bizarre. And I remember putting that on, and I like sent a picture to my mom, and like it was a legit feeling. And I said to my senior at the time, and she was a center fielder, like like I said, as I got older and got on the team, I idolized kind of those girls, and she was absolutely incredible. So her and I hung out a lot, really liked talking with her, but like she took photos of me having my headshot taken, and she was like, first year, best year, and it just kind of was like you knew those people knew how much it meant to you, you know?
Yeah.
And as I got older, sophomore, junior, senior year, you wanted to make those moments special for like the newbies, you know, even the transfers. Like we had a kid come in that was from Ole Miss, and she like hated her experience, but then she loved Penn State. So it's like even those times being able to like pay that back, but having the jersey like on your skin, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was just
Because
yeah.
while I feel like there's like an intuition while it's happening, even though it doesn't present itself like very clearly, but like while it's happening, you just kind of know like this is something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember in my first fucking college at bat, 3 years after I first stepped on a college field, my first game, my first pitch the pitch wasn't even a strike. It wasn't even fucking close. I was just so juiced up. I went golfing. I ended up hitting an RBI double, and I sat on second base, 21 years old as a college freshman, and I cried like a little fucking girl.
Oh yeah.
I turned around in center field. I started bawling. It that was like my oh shit moment. I was like, I fucking did
God,
it.
you're
I'm like,
getting me,
I was like, I fucking did it. I'm fucking here. And if I didn't do shit after that, I was like, that's okay. Because all the work I put in before that, just to be at that moment. And while it was happening, I kind of knew, I'm like, bro, I'm like, this is it, buddy. I'm like, we fucking made it here. And then I I got it together. I ended up scoring on another single, but it's all good, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get
I
to
got
have
it
your
together. I was like,
moment,
let's fucking
call it
run.
a day. No. And that's even like when we were down in Florida for like our first, because we started like what, February 9th, 8th, around there.
Stupid early.
Ridiculous. Like a third of our
It's
season
literally
is
midwinter
warm.
up here.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, yeah, let's play baseball and shit now and softball.
Like I can't feel my hands, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
But we were in Florida, and like our coach. So I had the same coach for freshman, sophomore, junior, and then we got a new coach after COVID for my senior year. Whole different other story. But she did like refuse to even tell us where we were in the lineup. Like our first coach, she was like, "No, we're just gonna see how it is. Like day one, game one." In Florida, February, whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever. I think I know where I'm at, but like I don't really know. It's been since August. Like I don't really know how I line up. You get like little hints, but that's about it. And when she kind of was like, Faye, Kensha, number 8, and I was like, there it is, let's go. Like, and I kind of just like didn't know how to act because I was the only freshman starting out of the 9 of us at the time. And I kind of just, looked straight forward, but in my brain,
1,000 mile
I'm like,
stare, baby.
Yeah,
I'm just
great, no emotions.
awesome, yeah.
But in your brain, you're freaking out.
Freaking the fuck out.
And I remember going out to like warm up the pitcher, and that was the feeling I had. Was like, all right, we're here, and this is real. I have a catcher plate on my chest that has an Nittany Lion on it. Like, this is crazy. But that was kind of my turning point for real things to play softball.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was dope.
Fucking brings me back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Fire me up.
It does.
Yo,
You feel like
break out the fucking gloves right now, dude.
got mine in my trunk. Like, let's go.
No, I do too. We keep it all on us because
You
at a
never
whim,
know.
we're just like, yo, let's just go play. And every time we're throwing, we're like, yo, comeback starts today. You never know, dude. I still got 4 years of eligibility, bro. I might come back at 28. You never know, dude.
No, you don't. I got 1 year left, and sometimes I'm like, that 1 year is
Just run
floating
it
around.
back. Fuck it. What's worse that happens, right?
You don't know. You gotta play in slow pitch league. That shit's different.
I don't think I would have it in me. I don't think it's competitive. Like it's not.
Alcohol is involved.
It's not high speed enough
It's
though.
a great way to hurt yourself, though.
It is a good way to hurt yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a whole 5 minutes. I'll show up hammered.
It's like a
Coach,
finish.
where am I heading? On the bench, buddy. Here's some water.
We thought ours was like a beer league. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna crack open a couple high noons, and I'm like behind the fence cheering on my team. Umpire calls time. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I call time. And he walks right up to me, beelines. He's like, you can't have that here. And I was like, says who? Like, this is
Where's the
softball
fucking
slow
sign,
pitch.
dude?
Like, what are you talking about? And there's like my teammates behind me. They all of a sudden are like behind there. So we went from first game like having a couple drinks to the rest of the season not at all. I was like, that's all right. It's fine.
Whoever that umpire was, dude, fuck you, bro.
No fun.
Total vibe killer.
No.
I hope he sees this, dude.
I know. That's what I said.
It's not like you're breaking out the
So I'm not
fucking
taking
bottle
shots.
out there, dude.
Like, damn.
I mean, I would, but like, come on, dude.
Probably leaving there around like 10:30. So it's kind of a long day, but in the middle, like I walk a dog during my lunch break. So it's like, you good?
Oh man,
Yo,
I
I'm
forgot
good.
the dip over there, so he looked at me and we just both started crying.
You son of a bitch.
I felt like the tension, but I didn't really know what to do about
It was fucking building. I was like, you motherfucker. Dude, you could have cut that shit with a knife, dude. It was thick.
Anyway, like my whole life has been like just playing softball at Penn State, earning a degree at Penn State, but kind of right now I just really am priding myself in wanting to kind of give back the student athlete experience. Like mine was great, like don't get me wrong, like COVID blew, but like in the grand scheme of things, like it was fantastic. So kind of like my biggest achievement is kind of finding what my next step is, because that was like, I don't want to be like 30 and be like, oh yeah, my greatest achievement is playing Division I softball. You know? Like,
I feel like we all have that in common because we were talking about that too.
Peak as you go.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, like you climb one mountain and all of a sudden you look and you're like, holy shit, there's so many other mountains out
Yeah.
there.
That mountain's fucking higher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
It's like
journey's gonna be
never
like, but I
being
know I'm getting there.
satisfied with what you're at right now. Just like trying to always improve every single day. Yeah. Finding new challenges to put in front of you.
Absolutely. No, and I think that is definitely one of the main reasons why I went ahead and signed up for that half Ironman, because that's my new mountain. Is it like a huge mountain? No. Like, but it is the next
No,
one.
it is. You know what?
It's not.
But
It might not seem like
it's huge to. You can say it how you want, but in the back of your head, it's huge to you.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like nothing to someone. Like, our perspectives are completely different from human to human. What seems like a normal day to one person might be someone else's fucking goal.
Yeah.
Like, we might dread our 9 to 5. That might be someone's fucking dream out there. You know what I mean? It just varies.
Right.
And that's kind of how I felt with my 50 miler. I was like, dude, people run 50s all the time, but to me, I was like, this is fucking huge. You know what I mean? And that's just.
2 marathons put together. So.
And I never ran a marathon. I was like, fuck it. Like.
Did you ever think you were gonna do a half Ironman? Like.
I knew I wanted to do something like kind of like hybrid-ish, because when we had like challenge days in softball, like I fucking lived for those. Like, I don't know, we did like a hell week. I don't know why. Like, my teammates would be like bugging, I'd be like, oh, I'm so fucking ready. Like,
Hell yeah.
we gotta go in the swimming pool with our sweatpants and sweatshirt on and our hoods on. Like, let's do it. Like,
Easy.
do I feel like I'm drowning? Yes. Like, it's okay.
Am I?
But,
No.
well, I
Not
know.
yet.
But I don't know. I always liked like those different challenges that had like multiple different things to do. So I've never ran more than 8 miles. So the half marathon is going to be interesting, but
That's not gonna be bad, especially with like all 3 extras. Like, they all come together.
yeah.
Like when you do more swimming, more biking, your running's gonna get better with your cardio.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it's interesting how, because obviously I love the gym so much, right? I'm doing December right now, so it's deadlifting every single day in December.
I love it.
Did
December.
Yeah.
Nice.
And did Squattober in October, squatting
Fuck
every
yeah.
day in October. That shit was wild.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that shit was
the
wild.
lower
But my legs like grew. Like, I like if you want like good legs in a month, do that. Like, I'm
Squat
just
every
saying,
fucking
like,
day.
It was insane. It was insane. But I don't want to like take away the strength aspect of my life, you know, because I really love like moving good weight around. But like, I'm still going to prioritize that, but like the endurance thing is gonna like come in, and going to have to be like a point of turning that I'm going to have to be like, all right, I have to lock in on all this endurance. But I don't know. See, like normal people, like 9 to 5 people like us, like we can't just like train all day. You know, like we got to prioritize like our times and like when we have time to, and are like those windows.
It's fucking tough.
Zach doesn't like
so
the category
tough.
you put him in.
What, you're 9 to 5?
I just work whenever I want.
Yeah, see, that's nice. But like, see, I'm like a little like that. Like if I have to work like all day Saturday, Sunday, I'll do like a half day on Friday, because I don't need to be like there every single day.
Right.
But or like stay home like in the morning when I have to work like really late at night.
So do you have
think, like, you adapted that mindset, like just like you said, like the softball workouts, like you actually love doing that. Like, where did that come from?
I don't really know. I think it was just like I really always loved like
It's in the DNA, bro.
challenging myself and like feeling like to the point of like every time I actually went into that day I saw you at Iron Core, I went into the bathroom and I was like, I remember like coming in here like Mach 90, like sliding on my knees, grabbing
About
the
to
toilet,
throw up.
throwing up.
Been
getting
there.
like,
That's every leg day for me.
oh my God.
I send
yeah.
these guys vids all the time. I'm like, boys, I can't fucking walk. And I love it.
Guys, I'm begging.
It's just like, I don't know, but like, and then getting back up and be like, hell yeah, I just threw up. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go finish this workout. Like, I don't know.
Hell yeah, I
what
got
it
2
was.
sets left.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but I've always really enjoyed like kind of pushing myself to I think that physical point, because I know it's not actually physical. I know it's mental. So it's interesting to see like, because this race is going to be like really hard mentally for me more than physically.
Right.
So
Hands down. I will say, you got to really when it comes to especially like big in the spirit, like it's an endurance event. When it comes to big endurance events, you just gotta get comfortable operating while you're fucking mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's what those big workouts are for. Mine would be like every Friday or Saturday. You say, this is what we're doing today. Don't care how we feel. We're doing it. And when you feel like you can't go anymore, you're just like, well, no one fucking cares because we're going to keep going.
Yeah. And you're the only person like there. That was interesting. How was that for you? I'm curious, when you stopped working out with like 20 other dudes, like I stopped working out with my whole team, and I like show up in the gym, still wearing Penn State stuff. I don't do it anymore. I made a vow to not wear. I was like looking in the mirror and I was like wearing Penn State stuff, and I was like, I am literally still Dani Faye, the softball player. I am not Dani Faye going to the gym to make yourself better, you know, like, so I was like, no more Penn State stuff. I think, I want to say like this time like a year and a half, no, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but that was interesting because you have like, when you're in those hard workouts alone, it is literally just you saying that you can do it versus people screaming at you.
I will say, I can't really speak to a lot of other people's situations because when I got into anything, when it came to conditioning or lifting, I always imagined it was just me. Because I always envisioned, I'm like, when these people are gone, when they're not here, who the fuck are you? So anytime I got in the weight room and we were doing like a team lift, I would just block out the noise. I'm like, it's just me in the bar. It's just me in this fucking machine. Like, I always was like that, though.
Yeah.
And so I can't really speak too much on that, unfortunately. But and that's something that I think is just ingrained in me, because that's something my dad always told me. He's like, at the end of the day, it's just you, bro. And whether it's a good day or a bad day, the fucking sun is coming up tomorrow, whether you like it or not. And I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just get the fucking work done. Like, I don't, I don't really know how else to take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was kind of the opposite in that way because, like, say this time 2 years ago when I would be like winter break before senior season or whatever season, like I would be running, conditioning, or working out, whatever, thinking like, how would I be if like my teammates were here? You know, like do I want to stop? Hell yeah, but would I stop if my teammates were here? Would I stop if my strength coach, like that I like idolize, would I stop if she was here? Absolutely not.
It's like that little extra, like external factor.
Yeah, so
almost like I gotta prove, like you got something to prove almost.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the switch that I had to make when I started, you know, going through those workouts like dead alone. So
it's just you versus you now.
Yeah, no, there's nobody like to compare myself to at all.
But that's where you're gonna grow the most.
Yeah.
When you look in the mirror and you're like, I know I can fucking be better. And it's just like, game on, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, that was like the triathlon thing. I was like, I work out every day. I do conditioning every day. Woohoo, yay, this is great. Gained muscle, lost fat, great, awesome. Now what? You know, like, because I knew like I did it, but then like I can do it, but I knew I could do something more mentally exhausting.
It gets to a point where you know you're just like, this isn't it. Like, I'm not just gonna stay here. Yeah. Because in a way, like, I know athletics definitely helped me of like just wanting more. Because I always used to do that, like, I would always look at it in like the big aspect of like the season. Just like, all right, one more win, we're in the playoffs. We win this game, we go to semis. We win this game, we're going to the championship. We win the championship, we're going to the States. It's just always wanting that next fucking level. And I just apply that to the other factors of my life now too. It's like, all right, now, because like right now I'm trying to put size back on because I got so fucking small. And I was like, all right, now we need to add another pound. Yeah, dude, what's up? I'm like, now we need the PR. Like, a month goes by, 5 pounds are now more, 5 more pounds are on the bar this month than last month. Like, it's a never ending process. I just always wanting to fucking go another level. You know, the win, just in life in general, there's never going to be like a this is it moment. Like, I made it. Because there's always going to be something else, you know. Do you know what is interesting though? Ever since,
like you were just saying about your fasting thing, like people are like, oh, how are you doing that? You know, the words.
Just don't eat.
But, and you probably got this so much like with your race or anything, but when people, like when you say what you're doing or what like your day-to-day is or like what you prioritize or, you know, like the race, people like immediately like, oh, I could never do that. Like they literally say like, I could never. Like those 3 words.
They already put that fucking limit on themselves.
And there's
they
so
never
many
even tried.
times. And I don't care what you look like. Every single time that like I say like, yeah, I'm doing this race, whatever. Yeah, I wake up at 5 and I work out every single day. And they're like, oh, I can never. I'm like, no, but you could. Like,
You could. You just don't want to.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're already saying I could never. I say this to my coworkers. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. No,
like,
I do too. I
it's
say it all the
crazy.
time at fucking work. I'm like, don't say you can never. You just don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
My
'Cause,
coworkers look at me like I have 3 heads every time.
dude, same.
Exactly. Yes.
When we were on day work and I was training for the race, because I always made weights a priority, so I didn't get like really weak. And there were times when we were on day work, I'm in the gym at 3:30 a.m. and then I'm running after work. I would have fucking 13, 14-hour days.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, if I'm sacrificing a little sleep, I don't care. I'm going to do something that I can carry with me for the rest of my life. And what are you doing? I'm like, what have you done lately that's so fucking great? Where that somehow puts you in a position to tell me that like I'm fucking nuts. Like, what have you done? I'm not crazy. I'm just not like you. You know what I mean? We're fucking different. And that's okay. It's not for everybody.
No,
and you know what?
yeah.
My message like that I'm trying to get out to people, like it's not for everybody, but it's for fucking somebody. And if it's just that one person, I'm cool with that, man.
Oh my gosh.
But all
yeah.
those average motherfuckers, dude, those are the ones that piss me off the most.
I hate when they're like,
you don't have kids. You don't have this, and that. I'm like, motherfucker, one of my best buddies I work with is 28 years old. He has 3 kids, all under the age of 5, and he's in probably just as good a shape, if not better than I am. I'm like, what the fuck is your excuse then?
And it's all about like, if I say like the 3-kid thing, right? When I have kids one day, you know, you have a significant other, like all of that, you can't be like good for that person until you're like great for yourself. So that
Gotta
is like
be.
one thing that, you know, because people say like, oh yeah, I used to do that like back in your day, but back in like when I was your age. It's like, then
don't
why
even get
can't
me
you
fucking
just
started on that
continue?
shit.
Wait until you get my age. I hate that.
Yeah, what is that? I'm like,
don't
yeah,
get
when I'm
that.
your age, I'm gonna be the same
Shit.
thing I'm doing right now.
Right.
Like,
I'm going to be in better
yeah.
shape than I am now.
Yeah, I don't
So you mean
know.
wait until I become fucking complacent? That's never going to happen, buddy.
Right.
We're not built like that.
Or just like comfortable.
And plus, if you want to be a great parent, especially for the 3, like say you have 3 kids for them.
Set good examples.
Right. You want to set a great example for them, like actually doing things, not just for you, but like the whole self-care thing. The more you put into yourself, the more you can put into other
Yeah.
people. Be a role model for other people, especially for your kids. If you're eating horrible stuff and you're just not exercising at all, what do you think your kids are going to do? Probably the same thing that you're doing, because they see, like whatever they perceive and what they see every day, that's how life is.
Especially when you're that young, dude, you're a fucking sponge. You're just soaking in everything around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you remember being that fucking small. You're like, I want to be like dad.
Yeah.
I want to be like mom.
Right.
What are they doing? I want to be just like that. You know what I mean? It's you just soak it in. It's like if you're setting the bad examples, well, don't be mad when your kid turns out doing the same fucking shit that you're doing. You know what I mean? Don't be mad about it.
Right.
Like you're gonna want. My dad always said that to me. He's like Drew. He's like, I want you to have more than I had and then some. And that's why he always pushed me so hard. And at the time, I didn't get it, and I look back on it now, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do that. You know what? I'm not gonna prove anyone wrong. I'm gonna prove myself right.
Yeah.
I am gonna fucking get there. And when I do, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna find the next thing. Like we always say, it's never-ending fucking journey. It's never-ending, dude. There's always just gonna be another thing. That's all it is. Just in the broadest terms, it's just another thing. That's it, dude.
You gotta be proud. You gotta celebrate. You know, you gotta make sure
Yeah.
you do that.
You gotta celebrate your wins, dude.
Absolutely.
Even if it's the smallest fucking thing.
It's hard to do, is to not dwell on them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I did that, and that's all I got in life. Like, well, no, that's what you did. What else can you do? You know?
The one thing that does bother me a lot, like, oh, like when I was your age, the people that are like in their 20s saying that.
Yo, chill out, man.
And they're like, oh, I'm too old for that. I'm like, you are 27. Like, what are you talking about?
I had a
What are you talking
I had a
about?
motherfucker tell me, right hand to fucking God. He's 30 years old now. He's like, he looked me right in my fucking face. He's like, dude, he's like, wait till you hit around like 25. He's like, when I was 25, my metabolism slowed down so much. I'm like, no, you just, I'm like, yeah, but he has no idea. I'm like, bro, no, you just became fucking lazy.
Yeah.
That's all you did,
That's probably
bro.
why your metabolism
Slow down.
Say,
Like,
what
you stop
slows
moving.
it down? Stop moving.
It's and like in my job, it's so easy to become fat, dude. It's so easy. We sit in a fucking car, like we're sitting.
Who would think?
Most of
You
the
gotta
day.
see my oh my god.
Like,
Yo, nurses are the most unhealthy people. It's
Which is
crazy.
crazy because they have all the information.
They have all the knowledge
know
and
all
the
the
information,
knowledge.
but they will not apply it for themselves. That's actually a big thing, especially for my hospital. I have to do a project. That's what I'm going to be doing is self-care, like for the nurses, because
a
they're
good
the
idea.
most unhealthy out of pretty much the whole population.
Because they don't
It's crazy.
prioritize the like, because like you have a long shift, like the food that goes into that, it could be so easy to just not be healthy with it.
it's
you know?
super easy.
Oh my god, that's the easiest way to do it.
Mad
It's just
easy.
like, screw it.
Yeah.
Let me just.
I feel like
something else.
they like to give so much to other people that they forget about themselves.
Yeah.
Which you can't do.
And like, your heart's in the right place, but it's like,
Yeah.
don't you dare forget about yourself. This is your only life.
Right.
And why would you want to not live the best fucking life you can, you know? Why would you not want to give your best self out there at all times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I love doing this shit.
If you sell yourself short, you're going to sell other people short too.
Right.
You know how many, like, I know I'm one of them, bro. If a doctor is like fat and out of shape and they try to give me health advice, bro, I'm laughing at you. What the fuck do you, what are you talking
don't know
about?
for themselves.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm not taking advice from that was like a fat personal trainer, bro. I used to see them bitches at Snap all the time when I used to go there.
Really?
I'm like, I mean, this is the opposite of what we're fucking trying to
Yeah.
accomplish. Like, what the fuck?
There was one time we were training after, so our strength coach had women's soccer and softball, right? And we both did the beep test, but like our goal was like 25 and theirs was like 50, you know, obviously because of soccer. I want to say this motherfucker.
This
Fucking bitch.
But
this
we walked in,
turd.
and she's running with them. Like she was doing it with them, and she got to like what they need to get at, and like then she stopped to like coach them, you know. But I was like, damn, like mad respect, because if like you can do what you just told me to do, and I just saw with my own eyes, like something's right, you know. Like
It's way different.
oh my gosh,
It's just it hits you at a whole, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it just you just absorb it differently. Some motherfucker telling dude, like, go out, we're gonna run 10 sprints today, but they can't run one. It's like, what do you mean we? Like, the fuck?
don't say that. Don't say we.
Yeah, don't. You can leave. I'm gonna run. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, man, this is shit gets me fired up. My blood
No,
pressure's through
me
the roof
too.
right now.
Next to this fire.
K Money needs a fucking breather, man. I'm getting fired up over here. That's just like I just speak on my behalf of like my profession, because dude, cops are fucking miserable and fat, dude. Honestly, the dudes I work with, they're like, yeah, well, you're lucky because you're young. I'm like, dude, you have
Think
no
of this
idea.
'cause I'm lucky.
I'm like,
No.
I'm like, you have no idea what's even coming. I'm like, wait till 10 years from now, you're gonna see a picture of me somewhere. You're gonna be fucking mad. You're gonna be mad that I made you look like an asshole.
No, it's wild when people. It makes me feel so. I don't even know how it makes me feel. Almost because when I see anybody in the gym, right? This is when gym stigma is like so interesting, because you see like that one person that might be like day one, of whatever journey, and obviously like I love seeing those people, and so badly I want to go up to them and be like, I'm so happy you're here. I hope you never leave. Like I am so happy you're here. Like
They got no idea what they're doing,
No.
but they're fucking
but they're
there.
trying.
They're
Yeah.
there.
And there's some things, you'll see people that don't know what they're doing. You're like, shit, I do want to correct their form so they don't get hurt. But like at the same time, I just want to let them be.
We all gotta
'Cause
start somewhere.
Exactly. So, but I just hate the fact when it turns around and, social media, I do it for a living, but like I kind of hate it. And, people are like making fun of those people.
Right.
So it is so interesting how like we're sitting here saying, you don't even understand, like your potentially isn't even like even to scratch the surface of what you're talking about. But on the other hand, people will tear people that are trying down. So it's just
Yeah.
it's so
Those people are
interesting.
losers.
Oh my god, I hate them.
Dude,
That
you
one-
gotta be able to walk the walk if you're gonna talk
Yeah.
it.
So if you're trying to put someone down for actually trying, like,
Yeah.
And
that
I'll-
one guy, Joey, whatever. Oh my gosh, he's on TikTok and he'll find people that are like being mean and he'll call them out. He'll like stitch their TikTok. You know what I'm talking about? The huge bald guy.
I'm not sure.
his name's like Joey something, but he's massive and he's dope for that. But he's like the nicest person ever because he just like wants to make the environment better for everybody.
I say that's like the one quality that will get me in trouble the most, but that I fucking pride myself on is just how straight up I am anymore. Because I will call those motherfuckers out right there on the spot, and I always ask them. I look them right in their face. I'm like, "What the fuck have you done lately that's so great compared to everyone else?" And they're like, "Nothing. You haven't done dick, buddy."
Yeah.
So calm the fuck down. Stay in your lane, and while you're at it, stop talking. Do us all a favor. Shut the fuck up.
They don't have anything nice
Like,
to say.
Nobody
Serious.
cares. Work harder.
Literally, no one
Literally.
cares. Like, dude, I'm extremely proud of myself and that I did my 50 miler. That's gone. No one fucking cares, dude. That I always tell myself that. Dude, no one cares. I can fucking put it all over social media. Some people are like, yeah, dude, that's so awesome. Other people are like, who the fuck's this guy? They'll just keep scrolling.
That is so
Who cares?
funny. I thought about that the other day. I was on the bike and I was like doing like one of my longer like endurance sessions, and I was like, when I do this, finish this Ironman, whatever, I'm gonna post about it. And I was like, why the hell am I thinking about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about
Right.
posting about it? And I was like, because I caught myself so quickly. That's what my brain went to when I was doing that. Like, I'm gonna post about it.
Get that external gratification.
Yeah. What
It's
is
not a
that
big why
about?
either.
It- not at all.
Why is what's going to drive you to that finish line.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to think about what is that why.
Yeah. The why is just like challenging me mentally and physically to a point of like to see if I can do it, for one, because I know I can, and two, just to take that next stepping stone from, since this is really like the first big thing, first competitive thing that I've done since softball, that hasn't been like just lifting. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, but that is literally what I thought of the other day.
Yeah. I mean, and people ask me all the time. Now, like, well, now you did 50, like you're done. You're not ever gonna do that again. And I'm like, no. I'm like, and then I tell them, like, I'm gonna fucking run 100 miles next year. Well, why would you ever do that? you wanna know why? Because I fucking can.
Also, it's the
That's
same
it.
dude that just ran 50, so why not?
But I don't need any other reason than because I fucking can.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why I want to do it. And whether your opinion, whatever that is, it goes in this year, out the other, dude. You could tell me I'm the fucking shit. Like, you're going to end up being fucking best in the world, blah, 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 blah. You're the only 24-year-old that are doing this. Dude, it goes in this year and out the other. I do not care what you have to say. I just don't anymore. I do it because I fucking can.
How did you, because I know you guys were both at the race, so how did you guys feel like in that environment and kind of like there for like one of your best friends, but what did that kind of, like, I'm curious because, I mean, you're making videos about it. Like, you're trying to tell a story, you know? Like, how did that feel for you guys?
I felt lucky. I felt really lucky to be there because just like having the opportunity to be around someone like Drew, like even just, someone as inspiring to be able to do something like that. And it's something that we never really talked about, like growing up, like doing all this stuff, like 15-mile races, Ironman, stuff like that. But now that it's like part of our culture now and like part of our, like what we do.
Culture's a good word for that.
It's almost expected.
Right. Yeah.
Like the race day, like I knew he was gonna finish.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a question because I knew like all the work that he put in. But like that was like kind of like the Super Bowl. Like people get excited for the Super Bowl and the World Series, but like I get excited for this shit. Like it's just so dope.
Right.
It was a long day. I think I had like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make a video today. I gotta run 10 miles with Drew. I gotta get him prepped with all his like BBN shit and all that.
It was a long day for everybody,
It
man.
was a dope day though.
You have those people like pouring into you, like it's gonna be crazy. Because
And-
I've already had like all my teammates that I played with that are still local, like
Yeah.
that are still on the team. They're like, oh yeah, we're there like 100% that day. Like whatever you need, like we're there. And I was like, oh well, I don't really know what that is gonna look like yet, but I'll let you know.
And I will say though, it definitely levels you up, and it's 100% contagious. I mean, and I was so fucking. I mean,
I can attest to that.
I was super fucking, like, as I've gotten older, like the more emotional I get. Even like
Oh my
I can't even
God,
say
yeah.
like softer, like, but like I really enjoy it, like emotionally, because like, dude, I can't tell you, like I crossed the finish line, I started fucking crying. I was hugging these guys, I'm bawling my eyes out, and I was just like, I know I could not have done it without them there. Just when we ran that 10 miles, like we might have said 2 words to each other. We barely fucking talked at all.
I talked to you. But
Like-
I think it was him.
I really didn't. Oh yeah, you're
I
right.
don't
It was
remember
me.
your-
Yeah, like but like
I was gonna say I was trying to talk to
yeah,
you just
he was.
to like.
Yeah, it was you.
I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
Drew, where's your mind at right now? And he said, nothing.
Just-
Absolutely blank.
But just
Like,
knowing,
there's no thought right
just
now.
just knowing that he was just there, it made that 10 miles so much easier. Just we didn't have to say shit, didn't even have to look at him. I just knew he was there. I said we're gonna be all right. And just knowing I had people to fucking do something as small as just fill my fucking water up, because even though it seems so small, that's just something extra that I just didn't have in me. All my energy was just focused on getting through these last fucking however many miles I had left. That's all I was thinking about. And that's all I was focused on. And they knew that. And they're just like, yo, look, this is our job. And I had a fucking crew there. I mean, we fucking.
You did have a
We
good
crewed
crew
up,
there.
We
dude.
had oatmeal balls.
We had oatmeal fucking balls, dude. Ate that whole fucking tray.
You didn't even save any for us, dude.
Fuck them.
Bastard.
But dude, but it's the little things like that you don't take into account, because before months going into the race, we had it planned out. We knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
But until you're actually there and you experience it, you have no idea how much it impacts you until honestly it's in hindsight. Because that's when all hit me. Weeks and now still months after I look back, I'm like, thank God they were fucking there, because I don't know if I would have been able to do something as little as fill up my fucking water. I was just so in the zone and just so fucking mentally and physically just gone.
Yeah.
I was just like, my body was there, but I was like, it was almost an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Like when I was crossing the finish line, I swear to God, I watched myself do it, because I envisioned it so many fucking times. And once I did it, I was like, bro, we did it now.
That's where it's at.
You know
Like,
what
in
I
the
mean?
shower, you're just like envisioning it.
Dude, that
Oh my
was
God,
I
yeah.
can't. I would tell him all the time when we're running, if it was just like a 5 mile fucking, especially in my taper, I did like a 3 mile run was my last run, and the whole 3 miles, every quarter mile, I was crossing the finish line. I was crossing the finish line. I'm like, bro, right now you're gonna feel beat, you're gonna feel fucking dead, and you're gonna keep going. And I just kept seeing it, and then it manifested itself in the experience. Because, I mean, mile 46, that last checkpoint, dude, I was in the fucking trenches, dude.
Yeah.
I was fucking.
Dude, I was editing the video and your dad's like, "You're doing great, buddy," and you're just like on the ground, and, like your eyes are like barely open. You look like a zombie.
Yeah, dude, I was fucking out of it. I was just like, got 3.9 left or whatever.
I think it was the oatmeal balls though. Like you had those oatmeal balls and you just took off.
Yeah, I will say, man, it's the little things in life. It really is. I knew, I'm like, hey, when I get that checkpoint,
Yeah.
I'm eating some oatmeal balls.
Going back to like what you were saying with like like always having your whole team there. Like when you're doing the workout, it does make it a lot easier. Like when you have someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Or like you have a coach.
Well, now you can, like, in your team, you can't, like, choose those people. Just
Yeah.
like you can't choose your family. That's a good example, too. But
True.
now we're in that position where we can choose who we surround ourselves with,
Yo.
and kind of who we want to keep around and who, like, goes with our culture, who stays with that. Like, y'all stay with my culture. Like, we always kind of stayed connected for a reason. Like, there's other people from Bangor, like we talked about, like, you don't see forever for a reason, and that just kind of is how life works. But then those people become your team.
For sure.
And I think that'll always be, I always loved a good team mindset kind of thing.
People
So-
thrive in teams.
Oh my God,
You thrive in
yeah.
the team environment.
Yeah.
Especially when you're all leveling up. Like you said, there's a reason we don't talk to certain people anymore.
Yeah.
They're just,
no reason.
our energies don't match anymore.
Even people I played collegiate ball with, I was like, listen, like I wanted the best, like we're competing for a position. I want the best for you no matter what, but I'm going to die trying beating you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And they didn't respect like that. So it's kind of like, we don't have to beat each other now. We can kind of just like lift each other up.
Yeah.
So it's a different, like team wise, I don't know. Find your you make your team. You build your roster now.
You do.
Yeah.
There's
Like
a,
this little group right here. Like we drive so much off each other.
yeah, we really do.
You guys do.
I mean, because like if we weren't all
I mean, would you be
leveling
fast today
up,
if it wasn't for them?
Yeah.
You would be?
yeah, fuck those guys. I'm on another level.
Well, when it came, like, I would say it's more of a general, like, pushing myself beyond limits that I didn't think I would really ever do. Like,
Yeah.
I did the 3 day, like, I did a 3-day fast, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's good enough. That's all I wanted to do. But now that we have, like, this, pushing each other up constantly, doing things that, that you normally wouldn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I
we
would
f-
say that
we
that's-
feed off
I,
of it.
I feed off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
whatever journey
bro,
you're
like,
taking.
I mean, think about it. not saying like it was because of me, but at the same time, I don't know what else might have been a other driving factor. But like, I signed up for my 50. I was coming down to the wire. This dude, he's like, fuck it. He's like, yo, I'm gonna run a marathon. I'm like, yeah, when? And he's like, I want you to help me plan for it. I'm like, all right, I got you. In 4 weeks, I'm like, you mean 14 weeks? Not, he's like, no. He's like, this. He's like October 7th. I'm like, yes, sir. We're gonna we're doing it then.
That's awesome.
And as fucking as unprepared as I might have felt he was, or he might have felt he was in the back of our heads, it was getting done.
That's why you wanted to do it.
It was getting done. But it's like, we just knew, like, it's happening.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing that's gonna stop it, dude.
Yeah.
We got it done.
It's just one day, dude.
Yeah.
And there's this one quote I love. It's from Eric Thomas. This is one I told myself a lot, especially when I was trying to come back, getting into baseball. You might have more talent than me. You might come from money. You might come from privilege, but you will never fucking outwork me. If there's one thing that I can control, it's my work ethic. And you fucking will not outwork me. That is it. You might have all the best equipment in the world. You might have the best personal trainer. But when it's just me and you out there, if we're running or something, we're in the weight room, I'm going to run or I'm going to lift until my body physically can't anymore. Are you willing to bring yourself there? You know, are you willing to go to that mental space? I promise you, it's not easy. I've been there, but I know what it's like. If you've never been there before, when it hits you, you ain't ready for it, buddy. You don't know what the fuck's coming.
Dani, what's your dream lifestyle look like?
Easy. I want dogs. No, I'm kidding.
Easy. 2 fucking dogs, that's it.
No, but I want to honestly like do just outdoorsy things, kind of be, I don't really know if I want kids, to be honest with you, but we'll see what happens down the road. But just want to stay active. I want to, because that is like my main passion. Like my passion, my work hasn't really come yet. So like passion in a career has not presented itself to me yet, which is fine. But we're trying different things, you know, we're working around it. But do I still love my job? Absolutely. I love the people I work with too. But like my goal in life is really just to never stop being like satisfied, because I just know too many people that have gotten to that point and they're like, you know what, that's good. Like I'm good. Like I got a house and I got some yard and this is fine. I got a decent job. It's okay.
They just settle.
Yeah, but I don't think I can ever do that, because one, I'm really bad at like kind of staying in one spot in general, but like I'll be at this job in a year. Like I even said in the beginning of this, February's a year. Bam. What's next? You know, like am I moving up at Penn State? No. Okay, maybe I have to go. Like it kind of is trying to figure out what is the next thing I can do. And I think like athletically, like I kind of have like the saying in my head, like I was a utility player for softball, so I'd be a utility player athletically for the rest of my life. You know, like that kind of was like the try thing. Like why can't I bike, swim, and run in one day? Like why can't I do that?
Yeah, we kind of like drive this podcast and like you kind of have to get low to get high. Like we all have those lows in life, and a lot of times they lead to like, you know, your pinnacle or getting high. What would you say like some of those lows are for you?
I would say definitely like getting uncomfortable, like not on purpose. Yeah. You know, being in awkward conversations or hard conversations, or even like not being on great terms with family. Like that sucks. Mm-hmm. Like that happened to me like when I was like coming out and everything. Like I didn't have anybody, and it was just like it is what it is. But those lows, like looking back, even like going off of that example, that makes me like protect my relationship with my parents and my family like even more now, because I know that they know like fully who I am, and that is what they love me for now too. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because like those lows are not what make you, but you know what push you forward. No, definitely. So it feels like the when you said that, like that's fantastic. Yeah. The lows are what put you high.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what makes you, but it shapes you.
Oh my gosh.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, what was that like for you, like coming out?
It was so interesting. I feel like everyone kind of knew, but nobody really wanted to talk about it. And before Caitlin, my current girlfriend, we've been dating for like 2 years and some months, but she's fantastic. And she's one of like my team players, right? She plays Division I softball, that's where we met, but same mindset as me, all of that great stuff. But before that, like I kind of never really had like a girlfriend. Like she, like random people kind of in between like the cracks. So I think that's why my parents weren't like, they didn't fully believe it. You know, like it was like a belief thing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, no, like I'm not kidding. Like this is real. Like I promise you. And so not being like believed was definitely like the hardest thing. But when they realized like who I was with is like a great human, and you know, they just kind of wanted to like relate what I was feeling to a person, I think, or like, because you know, I never was like, hey, this is my girlfriend until Caitlin.
Right.
So that was good that they also knew her before she was my girlfriend too, because she was my teammate for my girlfriend. No, but it was really hard. Like I do downplay it when I talk about it. I've tried to get over that because why should I'm not going to downplay it, but like it wasn't the best, but we've gotten through it, and like family loves Caitlin. Like I love Caitlin's family. They love me. So the whole coming out thing was interesting here because I was curious about like,
for fucking sure.
Yeah, I was like, but that's when I was like the peak of what I really cared about, like what people thought of me, which like doesn't matter. But like 10 out of 10 times, like I'm the same personality and the same person. Like I'm not going to say or do anything different as what I would do before you knew that I like girls.
No, yeah, you're literally
you know?
just like the exact same.
Exactly.
Like I can attest to it.
Exactly.
You're the exact same fucking person.
So, and it's like I would never be like at the gym. I went up to people that I see, and you know, have a full conversation with people that I graduated with. It was David, but and like in my brain, I'm like, I hope people like that never think that I'm different because I'm a little different, but actually it's always who I was.
Less of you. You know
No,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
for what? Who are they to tell you who you can or can't love?
Exactly. But that's
fuck
not.
yourself.
I also think like that our generation wouldn't be the ones to think that for sure. Yeah.
Now, did you always kind of know, like coming up in high school, like were you always like? Did
I
you
actually
like girls?
didn't know, like
Oh, really?
really until I got to college.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't. I think because it never like the opportunity or like, you know, like when you see it, you can like believe it. Like, I was always kind of like confused as to why I didn't really like love being in a relationship or.
Yeah.
You know, like with guys, obviously, I was kind of like, yeah, this is fun, like, woohoo, like, you know, like, I'm not, like, but like, this isn't like, but then I was in a relationship with a girl and I was like, holy crap, like, this is awesome, like, this is love, you know, and like, you said, which I feel so bad, because I would say, like, to those, I'd be like, oh, like, I love you, but like, I really didn't know, like, who knows what love is until like a certain person anyway,
You know when
but
you know.
exactly. And no, but I really didn't know until like I felt it. But then you look back and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, that kind of thing. Like when you look back. So.
Did you ever go through like a period where you're kind of like faking who you were almost?
Yeah. The freshman year was interesting of college. Like if you kind of honestly even like go back and like my Instagram or whatever, like it doesn't even really look like me. Like it doesn't, you can tell like I wasn't really smiling and I wasn't actually happy. Like,
Because you weren't like letting your true identity
yeah.
out.
Because I, like by the time I got to college, like I didn't like, I don't want to say like experiment. I kind of hate that word when it's talking about like being with different people, but like I didn't really like give it a chance until like sophomore year, late sophomore year. So, because that's when I began like having feelings, but before that you can tell like I was just like uncomfortable and I was wearing like I can still dress like a girl. I love dressing like a girl, like love it, but I do kind of just meet in the middle and wear athletic clothes most of the time, but I don't need to be, but that's what I was trying to do my freshman year, like skirts every single time I went out, crop tops every single time I went out, like trying way too hard to be this person that I wasn't. But so yeah, I would say.
Do you have any advice for people that are kind of like going through what you went through?
Yeah, definitely. I would say like, don't be afraid to just like sit with yourself and like I don't know what I really needed to do then, but like, or write it down, or actually something I do love doing now is just like sitting by myself and talking out loud and like talking through my emotions and like listening back to it. Like I'll record myself, and actually like think about, is it one for me or is it for other people? Like, am I holding these emotions in and these feelings in because I don't want them to be seen, or I don't want that to be me, period? Because those are two different things. Like internalized like homophobia like is a whole thing that is like so interesting, that like looking back like definitely did happen to me. Like I was like completely like balled it up and stuffed it really, really deep down, but you can't like make other people happy by who you are. Like in the grand scheme of things, like you said, like we're only here for one life. Like why would I ever fake who I am because I'm scared of what other people think of me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But that is definitely like it's easier said than done, obviously.
For sure.
But anyone that even, I hope that even knows me or went to Bangor or went to like some school around here, I hope they know that my like messages are always opened. Like it's always just to talk about it. And I never really had someone to just like chat about it with. It was kind of just like, let me just figure this out by myself. But which can, yeah, absolutely. I wish like I just talked to somebody, you know, but, or even just like other like teammates that I knew on the team that were kind of like on the cusp of discovering that themselves too. I just wish I would have been like, yo, what's good? Like, is this real? Or like, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. Like my head coach was a lesbian for my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Like, why did I walk up to her and be like, yo, what gives? Like, is this me? Like, or like, but sometimes like, honestly, people will be like, oh, like I knew you were. And some people take offense to that, but there's a small part of me that I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, you knew before me.
That's why
like,
you tell me.
Yeah, I was just like, why didn't you tell me or let me know? But honestly, because like when I was like slowly coming out to people, like they'd be like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. And I'd be like, okay, cool. So we have nothing else to talk about. Like that's fine. But it is like that small comforting feeling to like get that like back though. So I would hope that people would kind of reach out to me.
Like I said when we had that FaceTime vid a couple weeks ago, I said something along the lines. I was like, people don't always need to be told what to do. Sometimes they just need to know they're not alone.
Yeah.
Because like when you feel like alone like that and alienated, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, and then that's when you do start internalizing stuff, and you just throw it to the fucking back end, and you push it down, and then you try to forget about it, and then it presents itself in a different way that could be detrimental, you know? And it's just like, dude, this is who I am. If you don't like it, fuck you, because I'm gonna be this way anyway, you know? And
I think people like, I was so hung up on like what my parents were gonna think, right? Like, so incredibly, like with anything really. Like it was weird because I was almost a little nervous to like tell them I was going like all in on this like Iron Man thing, which like for what reason? But but people really like, I think so highly of my parents, but in this kind of situation, like when I was coming out, like I cared so much. Like I was like, if they're upset, like, and they don't want me to be like that, then I'm not going to be like that. And that is like so wild to me. Like looking back, like if they weren't extremely like supportive at first, obviously it's a little scary, like your kid coming out to you, but at the same time, like, don't think of like what other people are going to think of you, or like it's in the grand scheme of things, like, yeah, your parents are a part of your life and you can't choose your family, but going back to finding your team, you can go find family and like make you feel how you are meant to be felt. Yeah.
Family isn't always blood, and quite frankly, blood isn't always family either.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and that's with all aspects of life.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm out of questions.
We got the one grand finale question.
Go for it.
What is your purpose?
Oh, jeez. I know you guys were going to ask me this.
Fuck!
Honestly,
I knew that was coming.
No, I'm going to be like straight up, like 100% honest. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know.
And that's okay.
And
We'll phrase it in a different way.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best way you could help people on this earth?
ooh, that's a good question.
It's the same question though.
It is the same question.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Helping people on this earth to me looks like kind of just leading by example, one, and also just being in a place where I don't even know how to describe it, like unapologetically like yourself, really. Because leading by example is one thing, like you can work your ass off and you can show up on time and 10 minutes early because that is on time and all this, that goes with leading by example, right? But you do have to show your true colors like at the same time. And I feel like people say lead by example, but not all the time does it connect with being who you are. And like when I think lead by example, I'm like, oh yeah, like these guys, like they're going all in on this podcast and they are like day and night working out, doing these crazy things, going in cold tubs, like filming the cold tub from like the ceiling, like what the fuck, like, but taking those next steps to be different. But at the same time, like you can look deeper into that and know that they are being like themselves and being their humans that they are meant to be. So being unapologetically yourself, I would probably say comes with leading by example, but I don't want that to just straggle out.
I love that. That's gonna be the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
There's so much freedom in that too, man.
Absolutely. Where can we find you? Like it's like Instagram. Where
Yeah.
can you shout yourself out.
Danny Faye _6 on both Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, that's about it. LinkedIn, if you want to connect.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. It's actually really important.
It is really important.
It sucks. I hate LinkedIn.
No, I hate it too. I just made like the most sappiest, like corniest post the other day about like my whole first fall at Penn State, but you have to do it.
You do.
It's
It's
fine,
so
everything's
annoying.
fine.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on.
Cool. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
Yeah. Sweet.
I'm fired up.
Hey, buddy.
Signing off.
You ready?